Organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV.
UI musicians celebrate the life of one of music's most influential figures, and it's not who you might think.
And in sports, the Iowa women's basketball team puts a 4-game win streak on the line against Michigan State.
That's all coming your way next, right here on Daily Iowan TV.
From Studio 151, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan, this is Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for tuning in to your Sunday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Jessica Wank.
And I'm John Dedcott. More than 400 musicians and dancers gathered at the old Capitol Center to celebrate the 100th anniversary of John Cage's birth. Cage, an influential American composer of the 20th century, is widely recognized for his unusual use of musical instruments. Students filled the entire second floor of the old Capitol Center in celebration of the 100th anniversary. The song, sometimes described as a real-life flash mob, consists of 400 musicians playing at the same time.
This is a piece he wrote while he was at the University of Illinois, I believe. I think it was premiered in 1968. I have to check my facts on that. You know, it's just a bunch of musicians getting together, performing at the same time, different pieces, different styles of music.
Organizers for the event said Music Circus demonstrates how Cage's music continues to influence musicians years after his death.
And officials with the University of Iowa Student Health will be handing out condoms this week in recognition of National Condom Week. Health Iowa and Student Health will have a condom crawl on Friday in downtown Iowa City. Health Iowa staff will be distributing free condoms and safer sex supplies throughout the week. Condoms and STD testing services are always available at the Student Health Center in West Lawn.
A former campus leader hopes to soon be a state house leader. Former UI Student Government President Mason Bleem announced last week that he is running for a seat in the Iowa House of Representatives, according to the Fort Dodge Messenger. 24-year-old Bleem is currently an aide to U.S. Representative Steve King, and Bleem told the Messenger he's running because he feels it's time for his generation to begin taking ownership of some of the problems affecting the nation. Bleem graduated from the UI in 2009.
The Republican Party of Iowa has a new leader. A.J. Spiker will be the new Iowa GOP chair following a vote over the weekend. The announcement comes after former chairman Matt Strawn resigned his post in January. 32-year-old Spiker is one of 17 members of the GOP State Central Committee and previously served as the Story County GOP chairman. He also served as the vice chairman of presidential candidates Ron Paul's Iowa campaign. And Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is coming out of the weekend with a boost after winning the Conservative Political Action Conference in Washington this weekend. Romney, who placed second in the Iowa caucuses earlier this year, won the Seebeck straw poll with 38% of the vote. Candidate Rick Santorum, fresh off primary wins in Colorado, Minnesota, and Missouri, came in second with 31% of the vote. Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, learn how University of Iowa comes to make American Sign Language a full major.
And in sports, the men's basketball team takes a big step in the wrong direction at Northwestern.
That's coming up in a bit, but first let's go to Muriel Kone for your local weather forecast.
Well, Jess, we're going to see some chilling temperatures coming in for tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be around 26 degrees with a 90% chance of snow. In the afternoon, however, temperatures will rise up to the low 30s and cool back down to 25 degrees in the evening. Looking at the rest of the week, we'll see highs in the mid-30s on Tuesday and lows around 26 degrees. There will be mostly cloudy skies on Wednesday with a high of 42 degrees and a low in the mid-20s. On Thursday and Friday, expect highs in the upper 30s, but there will be a few snow showers on Thursday and some sunny skies coming into Friday. But into the weekend, the temperatures will ease back up into the lower 40s on Saturday and 30s on Sunday. So John, it seems like we will have another chilling week. Back to you.
5 men are facing charges following a shooting at an Iowa City nightclub over the weekend. On Saturday, police responded to a report of shots fired at Caliente nightclub on Highway 1 West. Police seized 3 handguns in a related traffic stop, and charges against the 5 men range from possession of a firearm to possession of stolen property.
Iowa City police arrested a local man for selling stolen firearms over the weekend. Police say 20-year-old Eric Cole admitted to exchanging stolen weapons with a minor on several occasions. He also allegedly sold a weapon to an unknown male at a party for $150.
About a dozen University of Iowa staff members were relocated from the main library Friday after fumes from a renovation project leaked into the building. UI spokesman Tom Moore said a work crew was using a chemical for a project on the 5th floor, and though fans were set up to vent the fumes outdoors, high winds caused the fumes to re-enter the building. Moore said air testing by facilities management did not find anything harmful.
And now Daily Iowan TV's Ian Martin is here for your look at Hawkeye Sports. Ian?
The Iowa women's basketball team continued their win streak today, beating Michigan State 74-57. That now makes it 5 games in a row without a loss for the Hawkeyes. Let's take you out to Carver Hawkeye Arena for Iowa hosting Michigan State. Just 4 games left in the season for the Hawkeyes. Camille Wallin got it started early. 3-pointers have been falling lately for Iowa. That made it 7-2 early. Morgan Johnson then followed up with the layup, assisted by Camille Wallin. Johnson just passed the 1,000 career point mark against Minnesota on Thursday night. She would continue to add to that 2 of her 14 first half points, and the assist by Samantha Logic, who had 12 of those on the afternoon. That's always helpful. And now to the second half, Camille Wallin, give and go and receive. She would add 2 there, and Iowa would win by 17 points. Seemingly, this team has found its groove at the right time. After the game, Coach Lisa Bluter said that the team has adjusted well since losing star player Jamie Printy.
We have such a good balanced team. I don't think we've ever been a one-person show. Jamie was certainly, our leading scorer and somebody we counted on in so many different situations. But I think when Jamie went down, everybody kind of had a focus that they had to pick up their game a little bit. And we knew that one person wasn't going to come in and replace Jamie. You can't do that. She's that good. But that all of us really had to make a real focused effort to improve our game. And I think across the board, we have.
The team has just 3 games left this season, only one of which is at home. They head to Ann Arbor on Thursday to face Michigan. Iowa men's team could have moved to a 500 conference record with a win on Thursday against Northwestern, but I did just say could have. Poor defense and poor decision-making ended the Hawkeyes' 2-game win streak, and in an ugly way. We're at Welsh Ryan Arena in Evanston, Illinois. John Scherna for 13 3-pointers for Northwestern in that game. That put the Wildcats up by 8 in the first half. They found Scherna again. That is just 2 points for him, the last basket of the first half, and Northwestern would take a double-digit lead into halftime. Scherna again was the second leading scorer for Northwestern. They would not lead by less than 12 after that point. Turnovers were the story of the game, though, for Iowa. Gayton's in the first half turning it over, and then Eric May. Show you 2 clips here that look to be the same, but this was, in fact, 2 consecutive plays. Eric May with the turnover. Iowa turned the ball over 18 times in the game, and the faces of the bench say it all for Iowa as they lose 83-64, fall to 13-12 overall, 5-7, and they lost ugly. After the game, reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Year, Aaron White, reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week, rather, Aaron White said it was all those lost balls that spelled doom for Iowa.
You really have to take care of the ball against that. They turn it over. I mean, they lead I think they're 3rd in the country in assisted turnover, so they don't turn the ball over. So if you come in here and turn it over and they don't, it's tough to win.
Now on to a team that had a little bit better bus ride home this weekend. Collegiate wrestling began postseason grappling on Sunday, and the Hawkeyes played 2 in Ames at the National Duels Regionals. The Hawkeyes dominated the Hokies in their first match of the day with Virginia Tech's 3 points coming on its second to last wrestler. This victory allowed Iowa to face Oregon State in the regional final. Oregon State defeated Iowa State in the other early duel of the day. Iowa had a tougher time with the Beavers in that second match, but still emerged victorious behind the usual suspects, including an 8-0 win for 133-pounder Tony Ramos. The Hawkeyes will finish the tournament next weekend in the Final Four. Location and start time for that are still to be determined. The Iowa women's softball team opened its season this weekend at the Getterman Classic in Waco, Texas, and while it wasn't pristine, Iowa did leave the Lone Star State with a winning record. The season opened on Friday with a mercy rule defeat of the Wichita State Shockers, but the Hawkeyes lost 2 straight after that, falling to the home tournament host Baylor in a shutout before experiencing the mercy rule at the hands of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Razorbacks scored 9 runs in the first inning of that one and did not look back. Later on Saturday, though, Iowa moved moved to a more positive 2-game winning streak, though defeating Texas Arlington by a single run, and then on Sunday shutting out Belmont to leave Waco with a winning record. Junior ace Chelsea Lyon had 2 wins on the weekend, allowing just 3 hits in that Belmont game, and she starts the season with a 2-1 record. That's all for sports. Back to you at the desk.
The UI's American Sign Language program held a summit over the weekend to discuss the possibility of starting an interpreter training program. Officials say the need for interpreters is high, and if created, the program would be the only one of its kind at Iowa's Regent universities. The number of students in the ASL program is almost 10 times higher than when it was launched back in 1994, and officials say understanding sign language is more than just a way to communicate, it's also a useful research tool.
And so we hope that people attending the conference will see how it can apply to their field, the potential for using that information in their own work or research.
A recent study estimated that around 115,000 Iowans are deaf, making up about 4% of the state's total population.
And now we'll take a look at some of the top headlines from across the globe. The world is mourning the death of legendary performer Whitney Houston tonight after she was found dead in a California hotel over the weekend. 48-year-old Houston, best known for her cover of Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You, sold more than 170 million albums during her career.
And unfortunately, everyone is going to have to start paying more at the pump again. Recent survey shows gas prices are up 12 cents a gallon since January due to an increase in the price of North Sea oil. That leaves the average price peaking at about $3.51 per gallon.
And overseas, Saadi Gaddafi, the son of Libya's ousted leader, has been placed under house arrest in Niger. The son of Muammar Gaddafi entered the country last fall following the collapse of his father's 42-year regime. Though he has granted asylum, Libya's National Transitional Council has demanded his extradition.
And a little bit of Spain came to South Florida over the weekend when a bar hosted a massive tomato fight. Much like the annual Spanish festival La Tomatina, the owner of a Miami bar allowed patrons to use his extra tomatoes to fight with. Bar employee said the bar owner tried to donate an excess of his tomatoes to food banks, but still had too many, so rather than let them rot, he just let his customers throw them at each other.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak preview of tomorrow's print edition of the Daily Iowan. Read how the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics has seen an upstick in burn victims connected with the manufacturing of meth.
Plus, how Representative Dave Loebsack is working with University of Iowa Democrats to reform education.
That'll do it for this edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.